actually get to the games and let's go through all the games and see who we think is going to win, what we think about that team, and what you should bet on in those games. Let's start with the first game that's on the slate for BetMGM. Let's go Panthers at the Falcons. You know, they got Atlanta winning this game. -3.5, over under 39.5. Money line for Atlanta, -185. Carolina, +150. Dev, let's start with you. What you like in this game?
It's hard to find reasons that the Panthers – actually, no. I don't want to say that it's hard to find reasons the Panthers can cover, because I do think that Bryce Young is going to find his groove with them eventually. I think for week 1, the Falcons, have Desmond Ridder making his official debut as their quarterback. They got Bijan Robinson, who I'm super excited to see. Their run game is super strong. The Panthers have some injuries that they're dealing with. I just don't see a way that the Panthers can overcome that point spread and cover. So I have to take the Falcons and the points in this one.
Okay. What you like, B?
Kind of similar, Desmond Ridder at this point, he's another year under his belt as far as being a starter. He's not going through what he went through last year as being a rookie. So I like what they have. I like their run game. The biggest thing with me is a rookie quarterback. Even with, we know that Carolina's going to run the rock. I know they got Miles Sanders there. We know they're going to do that. But when you're going with a second-year quarterback, even though, quarterback is a rookie, but just that second year under your belt, you're going to have a better sense of what's going on. I got to go with New England. I got to go with the Falcons also. The Falcons, and I'm gonna go with the under though, because at this point I can't see them scoring a lot of points. You got a rookie quarterback over here, second-year quarterback here. They're gonna run the ball. Time's gonna be around. Both teams are gonna try to run the ball a lot. So the clock's gonna be going. Not a lot of passing.
So we're all on the Falcons.
Ooh,
I am also with the Falcons again. Shout out to Carolina. Shout out to them Cats. I used to cover them Cats, but yeah, no. Rookie quarterback. You got some things you got to learn. The Falcons, have Desmond Ridder coming back. Again, that's not a big deal. It's not like he's a slinger, but he's a guy with experience, and you got a ton of talent around him. So I have Atlanta. I do have the under also.
Well, the Falcons also beefed up their defense a bit. They have a new defensive coordinator. They brought in some new pieces to help with that. So it's probably not going to be a super high-scoring game.
Yeah, and going from the opposite of that, Burns, the Panthers' best defensive end / linebacker, is holding out.
That's one guy we haven't even spoken about in regards to holdouts.
So many holdouts.
Yeah.
Damn.
Got to get the money.
All them defensive players. And the only thing I'll say is in regards to Bijan, I'm holding out on his player props because they have so many running backs. I'm like,
they do.
How much is he going to be used? Right? Like Cordell, like they got a bunch of guys where I'm like,
I think Cordell is on.
He's questionable.
He's questionable, yeah.
He's questionable.
Okay.
So
well, the other running back from BYU, I forget his name.
Tyler Algier.
Algier. He's. I like him.
They got talented cats, so I'm like, I can't pick Bijan to go over 100 if I don't know. It's like a Gibbs yesterday. Thursday. They said Gibbs, we have all new ways to use him. So I said, anytime touch for Gibbs on the Detroit Lions. Jahmyr Gibbs, got to, anytime. They said they're going to use him in magical ways. They ain't use him at all. So I'm like, you know what? And again, I know they're going to use Bijan, but I can't pick certain player props until I know this is how much you're going to use this individual.
Right.
So I'm holding off. Again, I love Bijan too. Everybody in Philly wanted Bijan, but
except for me.
Oh, okay, B. You accurate. You wanted somebody on the line, of course. On brand.
I wanted Nolan Smith. That's what I wanted. I wanted to pick him up at number 10, but we got him at 30. So
he's my favorite pick from that draft.
Oh, no
for
question.
The Eagles.
Tremendous. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Texans, Ravens, Baltimore.
The paint dry game.
Yeah, -10, over under 43.5. You ain't gonna win no money betting money line with Baltimore. -500. Houston +375 if you want to get risky. I don't even think we got to go through this much, but Barrett,
Odell Beckham, man. Odell Beckham Jr. I think he's gonna try. They're gonna try to open it up for him, and I think that Jackson has something to prove. He's got his money now. I think he'll try to showcase his arm a little bit so he doesn't run around a little bit. So, I think they're gonna be all right. I think they're gonna score a little more points. I'm still going with the under, but they are in a position where they can score points with the weapons that they have.
Got you.
Yeah, so we were talking in a break about teams that I just don't enjoy betting on. And last season, the Ravens were one of them. I call them vibeless teams, just like no vibes, no excitement whatsoever. I do think the Ravens and their new look offense, with Lamar Jackson being back, I do think that they're going to be a lot more exciting to watch. I don't know if the first game against the Texans is necessarily going to like set the standard for that, though. So I don't have anything too specific on this one. Honestly, the Texans have improved. They have a new head coach, new quarterback. Like, we don't know how CJ Stroud is going to perform. He could come out and be amazing. Probably not, but it could be an exciting game.
Definitely not.
Yeah, they got Will Anderson in the draft too, so they have added pieces. My point. So it could be a more competitive game than what a lot of people are letting on. I think the Ravens are going to win. What I'm most looking forward to in this game is seeing this Ravens offense and what they're going to do different with Lamar Jackson moving forward this season.
That's definitely what I'll be looking at.
They getting destroyed. As murder was the case that they gave me. The Ravens, again, -10. Give me -20.
Really?
I think Lamar Jackson's like, yo, y'all been talking a lot about me.
Right.
Y'all must, like Roy Jones, y'all must have forgot. I'm going to come out here and do some things. And Odell getting a rock who feels like he has to prove some things. So I think
they got Nelly too. They got Nelly up there.
With the over-under, I'm scared 43.5 simply because I don't know if the Texans are going to score.
They're not.
So I think it could be a 30-10 type of game, but Baltimore scoring all the points, winning in dominant fashion, and then being easy money. Again, I'm going anytime touch for Odell. That's like that player prop, anytime touch. They're going to make sure.
And I think they're going to want to make a point to have Lamar get the ball in the air a lot more this game to prove, like, look, this is our new offense now. He's not just going to run it every single play. So I could see OBJ.
Yeah, want to keep him out of harm's way.
Yeah.
And shout out to Kev because he said, good pick for Survivor. Yes. if this is your Survivor pool and you want to start it, it may be too easy. Yep. Maybe you want to save Baltimore for later. That's some people's strategy. But if you just want to guarantee dub in week 1,
you think overall, this is a guarantee?
Guarantee.
Yeah,
how does Charles Barkley say it? Guarantee. That's
put a bow on it and it's finished.
Yes, and it's finished. Bengals Browns could be interesting. Some of your Super Bowl picks, or at least to get to the Super Bowl. Bengals Brown. Obviously Bengals -2.5. Over under 47.5. Money line Cincinnati -135. Cleveland +135. Again at Cleveland. Closer than what some people may think. Dev, I'm gonna start with you on this one.
Well, I think it's closer than what a lot of people think because for whatever reason, the Browns play the Bengals really well. They can find a way to kind of get in Joe Burrow's head, and I think that way is by getting to the quarterback and sacking him. Joe Burrow doesn't play well when he's sacked, multiple times. I don't think many quarterbacks do. So I do think that this Browns defense has a chance to get through this, potent Cincinnati offense. That being said, the Bengals are my pick to go to the Super Bowl from the AFC. So I don't think that they're going to lose. So I think I have to go with the Bengals on this one. But I do think it could be a close, exciting game.
Money line or?
No. What's the spread at? I know it moved. I didn't want to say it. Yeah, I think the Bengals can cover that.
And again, the over-under is 47.5. Barrett, what would you bet from there?
I actually think it's right where it needs to be at, simply because just like you said, Devin, they do play, close games when it comes to those two teams. But I think the biggest thing is defensively, the Browns, man, they can rush the passer, they can cover. You look at Cincinnati, they're just getting their quarterback back. He's practiced for 1 week after being out of all training camp. So he might be a little rusty at this point.
Oh, so you're going with Cleveland?
No, I'm still going with Cincinnati.
We thought you were leading.
Where's he going?
But I'm saying it might be, 2021.
Yeah.
Kind of like what we saw this last game, 2021.
Okay. All right. I just can't go with the Browns.
I know.
You know what I mean? It's just kind of like I want to go Browns just to be risky, but I can't go to Browns. Not with Joe Burrow.
And also, bro, you got to think about the Browns are going to run the rock. They're just going to run the ball, and that clock is going to be ticking. And there's not going to be a lot of opportunities for that vaunted offense of Cincinnati to go out there and really make some things happen when this game is going to be one of those knock down defensive wars. So
yeah, I mean, but that being said, if you look at, you could do props if you don't want to choose a side in this one, because it could be a closer game. Like Nick Chubb, 75.5 rushing yards.
Yes.
It's kind of high, but would you take the over on that?
I would.
Yeah,
I would.
I probably would.
Yep.
On the Bengals side, like Jamar Chase, I don't know what his receiving yards are at. But yeah, like I think this could be a good one to do, like a fun parlay.
Yes,
some
yes.
player props.
Yeah, I'm with you. Even the over under, I'm a little nervous about. I think Deshaun Watson returns to being a elite quarterback. I think it doesn't make any sense for him not to. Again,
Right.
You take away, the him as a human being and all the stuff. Just as a player, he was a top 5 quarterback in this league.
Yes, he was.
He's still in his 20s. That just doesn't go away.
Mm-hmm.
It has to come back at some point.
And he
But is it today? Is it you know what I mean? Is it the first week? I don't know if it comes back then against the Cincinnati Bengals. So I can't pick the Browns until I see that Deshaun turn the corner with that. So, you know what I mean? Again, in money line, I would just go Cincinnati money line. It makes me nervous to go with the points, even though it's only 2.5. So some people say, well, why wouldn't you just again, it could be like yesterday, 21-20.
Yeah.
This type
I
of
think
situation.
it will be a close one.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's go to my guys, the Jags. Jags at Colts. Again, -4.5, over under 46.5. Money line, we talking Jags -225. Indy +180. B Brooks, where you going with this one?
This is gonna be another shellacking. What you saw the preseason game when the Eagles had their second and third team out there playing against the starters of the Colts. I love Shane, as a head coach, but he just didn't have enough in the cupboard to play against this Jacksonville team who's completely together. Got the quarterback, got the defense. They're ready to take strides. So, I'm going with the over. At the end of the day, I'm going with the over. More than 4.5 points. It's going to be simple. I just think they're going to run them out the gym in their own gym.
I can see that, Dev.
Yeah, you've got Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence, who have improved greatly already,
Absolutely.
and they're playing against one of the worst pass defenses, at least from last season, who lost Stephon Gilmore and then didn't really add any other pieces to help them out. And I love Shane Steichen too. I want him to
Shane's a great
succeed
guy.
there,
Yeah.
but I think he might need some time. I don't know if this game is going to be the game to start off on the right foot with the Colts. So I like the Jags. I also like Calvin Ridley anytime touchdown. I think it's his debut. I think they're going to want to get the ball to him and get him started right away. I think he comes out in a big way.
Yeah, shellacking. Yeah. Dominance. This is another survivor pick for me. The Colts, Anthony Richardson, he couldn't win in Florida. If we're being honest.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of talent. It's going to take time. He got to develop. I can see interception pick 6. That's what I would bet on. I don't know. I don't have that up, but if there's a bet, interceptions for him, mistakes, rookie mistakes, he needs more time to develop. I felt like he was starting a little bit too early, if I'm being honest with you. So that's where I'm going. And again, if Trevor Lawrence over 250, 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
That's what I'm betting on. And I'm betting on Calvin to get one.
Yeah. Love
you
it.
know what I mean? So that's overall.
And Anthony Richardson, someone needs to talk to him and tell him to not do obnoxious celebrations. What was he doing, the eagle wings during a preseason game? So just, cool
Against
down
the two,
a little.
against 2s and 3s.
It's regular season. Someone's got to talk to him. Tell him that.
Boy gonna learn quick. We got 1 minute. I think we only need 30 seconds on this. Bucks, Vikings. Where are you going at this?
I got to go with Minnesota. Cousins always plays well. It's a 1:00 game. If it had been a 4:30 game or a night game, I'd have to go the opposite direction. But he plays well at 1:00 in the afternoon. You're gonna get Kirk Cousins' best, and he has a new toy in the first round pick of the wide receiver.
Yeah,
they'll be all right. They'll cover.
You Dev?
Yeah. I have to go with the Vikings here.
Right. Easy money.
1:00. Kirk Cousins is Joe Montana.
Right. He is, man.
He's Joe Montana at 1:00. So I'm definitely going with that. Him for going over 250 and Justin Jefferson getting a touchdown.
Oh, no question.
Book it. Titans Saints. That's the next game on the agenda. Saints actually And not actually, it's -3, but that's basically because they are at home, so it's like an even matchup. Over under 41.5. Money line, New Orleans -175, Tennessee +145. Devin, what you got?
I mean, I think I have to stick with the Saints as favorites here. Derek Carr, I think he was put in a tough situation last year with the Raiders. He has a new fresh start with the Saints. I think the Saints team, both these teams have actually suffered, tons of injuries on both sides of the ball. So I think they're both going into this week and season, looking to start fresh and get a good footing under themselves. But I think the Saints just have more talent. They have Chris Olave, who had over 1,000 yards receiving last year. They had Mike Thomas. They have Juwan Johnson. Like, the list goes on. They got Jamal Williams, who's going to make his debut. So I just think the talent, especially on the offensive side of the ball, is going to be too much for the Titans to handle. And the Titans just aren't. They have pieces, but they're not a complete cohesive team, in my opinion.
And I'm going exact opposite this time.
What?
Yeah, I'm going with the Titans.
Finally, some disagreement between all of us.
I'm just going with the running game. At this point, say what you want to say. They went back and they got a bona fide left tackle now. The Eagles left tackle Dillard. Dillard is there now. I watched Dillard in the preseason. I'm like, where did this kid come from? Why didn't he do this when he was with the Eagles? He was balling. I mean, I was really surprised how well his progression as an NFL player, the strides he's taking right now. He is balling right now. So with that comes an offensive line that's more shored up. And if you run the ball against that team, keep their quarterback off the field, to me, it just works out for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going with the Titans. Going with the Titans.
I like it.
I don't know, man. This is an game.
It's hard, yeah. It's a tough one.
It's a lot of things you don't know about. The Titans 2 years ago were a playoff team.
Yeah.
Right? Ryan Tannehill was being a solid quarterback. Derrick Henry was running for a lot of yards. Now they got D-Hop. They should be a team that can produce, and I think Vrabel's a great coach.
Yes.
I think the Saints are more overall talented, though.
Right, that's what I mean, where the Saints just feel like overall more complete, where the Titans have these pieces where you can make that week one assumption of like, oh, they're going to come in and have this, they're going to be this talented offensive team, and you just don't know if they're going to be able to put it together.
Well, the reason why I say they're not going to put it together because Alvin Kamara won't be there. He's suspended now.
True.
So since he's suspended, that's just one ace. And he was their offense, for the last 2 or 3 years. His ability to go out there and catch in the passing game and run in a running game really sets them apart as far as being an elite offense. So since he's not there, I don't know if they can go. I don't know if they can, hold the next running back. What's his name? Oh my goodness, I've actually played with his pops.
For who? Titans or Saints?
The Saints.
Jamal Williams? No.
No. At this point, I just can't see. I can't see them running the ball consistently. Taysom Hill's hurt, So
yeah.
At this point, I can't see them holding up against the run and stopping the run.
Kendre Miller, Kirk Merritt. Just reading
off the depth chart.
That's it.
Reading off depth chart, man. That's the only depth chart I got right now. But again, I'm gonna go Saints, just because they're at home. I'm a believer. I like Derek Carr. I like him as a quarterback. I think he's a really good quarterback who was with
consistent quarterback.
A consistent quarterback that was in terrible franchise situations, right? Like he wasn't with good franchises. Again, he's not a top 10 quarterback, but he's to me in that range of, you're like 12.
Yeah.
And if you have a good year, you're like 8. So I like him as a quarterback. So at home, I'm gonna pick him. So
that's your boy's ceiling from the 49ers is Derek Carr. I just want you to know that.
I know that. I know that's his ceiling. I just think
that's Purdy's ceiling right there. Derek Carr.
But that's what I'm saying. If he reaches that ceiling, if the 49ers had Derek Carr, they have won at least one Super Bowl over the last 4 years. Right. If they had Derek Carr with Jimmy G, they don't lose to the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Derek Carr makes that throw.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
it's just that. So if that is his ceiling, just back to y'all ganging up on me. And speaking of ganging up, the next game is the San Francisco 49ers at your
Steelers, baby.
Your Pittsburgh Steelers, 1:00 game. San Francisco only -2. I'm surprised on this line. I thought it'd be a little bit bigger, but that tells you what they think of Pittsburgh being at home. 41.5 is the over/under. San Francisco -130. Pittsburgh +110. So let's start with you, Mr. Steeler.
I'm surprised.
Eagle,
I'm surprised
whatever you want
that.
to call yourself today.
I'm surprised you said that, simply because you talked about, a rookie quarterback's progression from one year to the next year, the second year. And, I'm looking at Kenny Pickett and the weapons that he has. Deontay Johnson is a gem that nobody really talks about. Mm-hmm. He is one of the best receivers in the league. Mark my words right now. He will be one of the upper echelon receivers in the league. With Kenny Pickett and his development in this offense, he will be the truth. And then he got George Pickens too. Oh, and then when I got Allen Robinson also. This offense is going to be prolific because now they have guys that can protect them now. They went out and you kind of shored up a little the offensive line with Broderick Jones. Even though he didn't break the starting lineup, he put enough pressure on the starter to go out there. And now, he'll be assured at the left tackle position blocking, because if you don't block now, they'll get you up out of here. So that and the receivers he has, and Najee going out there and having a complete running game now. I'm going with the Steelers, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Love it.
You were waiting for it, but I told you.
Oh, my. I knew you were.
Yes, we're going with Steelers.
I knew you were going to do this crap
And look at the line. The line is telling you that, though. The line is telling you that.
Yeah.
It's telling you, look at the Steelers team. The line is telling you that.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay, so
don't do it. Don't do it.
I feel like all week, or honestly just leading up to week 1, I've heard that, why is the line, why is it so small between the 49ers are going to crush them? The Steelers have quietly built a solid roster.
Absolutely.
I think this is going to be, I'm really excited to watch this game. I think it's going to be, 2 sophomore quarterbacks against extremely formidable defenses. I mean, you look at, the 49ers defense gets a ton of praise, and they should. They gave Nick Bosa his money. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense, they still have TJ Watt. They have Alex Highsmith.
Healthy.
They have Levi Wallace. They have Minka Fitzpatrick. The list goes on. They are a formidable and intimidating defense. And I can see a way, especially playing at home, that the Steelers win this game. I don't know if I feel confident enough to, fully take the Steelers. But I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. I don't think what a lot of people are saying, where, Sean, you said, the 49ers are going to crush them. Why is it so close? I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair because of the defenses, so I do like the under.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Steelers win.
He's processing.
Guys, what are we doing here?
Brock Purdy loses, and then what happened when he lose? That city turns on him.
Oh, my goodness. Guys. What are we doing here? Everybody wants to discount it again. It's a 1:00 game,
I've also
so it's the
heard
West Coast
Kenny
going
Pickett has
east.
been looking really great in preseason.
I love Kenny Pickett, by the way.
Yeah.
I like Kenny
Pickett. I
Pickett.
went to Pitt, H2P.
Oh, did you?
I did, yeah. So I'm not a Steelers fan, but you want to see your Pitt Panthers succeed.
I didn't know I disliked you. As a Penn State guy,
no.
I didn't know I disliked you. No. I didn't know until just now.
I'm sorry.
Well, enemies we are.
It's funny because we're supposed to be enemies, but Pitt and Penn State don't even play each other.
We actually don't
anything
dislike each
anymore.
other. We
they play each other once every 5 years.
We really don't care, but you're just still. I
but
feel
we're
like
supposed to.
But I do now. Okay. I got the 49ers winning by double digits.
Wow.
You named all those offensive names. Do they start on the 49ers? Do they start over Debo, over George Kittle, over Christian McCaffrey, over Elijah Mitchell? Would they start on that team? Defensively, obviously you got TJ Watt, you got a very good defense, but
yeah.
Nick, when I rattled the 49ers names against those names, would you call it close? Would you call it close? If I rattled off the 49ers top 15 players and the Pittsburgh Steelers top 15 players, would you call it close? You
Offensively.
Overall, you won it.
It'll be tighter, but I couldn't say yes. I couldn't say that Debo, George Pickens. It's tough doing that type of comparison. Deontay Johnson, I put him above Brandon Ayuk, but the Christian McCaffrey.
It's
Najee
Christian
Harris,
McCaffrey, yeah. They have an edge.
Yeah.
And the 49ers have an edge on that.
85% of the bettors.
Quarterback.
Kevin gave this to us. 85% of the bettors are Steelers money line. That's how I know it's an L for the Steelers. Anytime it's 85, 90% over there, it's an L. So I think the 49ers are going to win this game. I think Brock Purdy's going to throw for 2 touchdowns.
Dang. 2?
He averaged 30 points a game last year. I think the 49ers are solidly a better team.
But you got to understand this also. Defensive coordinators have had 6-7 months to go out there and stop Brock Purdy now.
But I don't think that matters. I think how long have you had a chance to stop Kyle Shanahan? Been 4 years and still he's putting up 28-30 on everybody. If it ain't the Eagles. So if it ain't the Eagles, I just feel confident. Again, I can't wait till next week. I can't wait till next week. Or I'm gonna have my tail. I'm gonna have my tail on my legs. I'm like, hey,
but you
guys,
know what? That's what's
leave
so
me
fun.
alone, guys.
I might put up a big
Stop
sign.
picking on me, guys.
I told you so.
That's what's so fun about week 1. You know, you can jump to these dramatic conclusions. Just
We haven't seen anything, right?
Right, we haven't seen anything. A team brings in one player, and it's like they're going to Super Bowl.
Let's skip to a game that used to be a marquee matchup 15 years ago. Packers-Bears. We're going to skip to Packers-Bears. Chicago, -1. Over-under, 42.5. Moneyline, Chicago, -120. Green Bay, +100. Dev, I'll start with you. Packers-Bears.
This is a tough one. My initial thought was to take the Bears, but then the more I look at it, you know, I think the Packers, a lot of people are discounting because they lost Aaron Rodgers. But I think Jordan Love is a lot more competent than people are giving him credit for. And otherwise, you know, they're a young team, but they still have talent. Chicago, I appreciate and know what Justin Fields can do. And I know the Packers defense has been great at you know, stopping the rush attack, but they were able to stop the Bears last season. So I think I'm changing my side here because I had the Bears and now I think I'm leaning Packers. But this one's a really close one. Like I genuinely keep going back and forth. I don't have anything set on this one in terms of bets or even props.
Yeah, I feel that. What about you?
I'm more solid with the Bears right now. I would stay the Bears simply because they understand that they almost have to make sure that they protect Fields, and they didn't last year, so they went out and got Wright from Tennessee. He was my number 1 offensive tackle in the draft last year. You know, they went and picked him up, doing all right. I'm looking at Fields, man. I mean, the only thing is, you know, you can't let Montgomery leave, man. They let him go to Detroit, and that's the only thing that's, you know, pushing me away. But, you know, Chase Claypool's there, DJ Moore.
All right, yeah, they got DJ Moore from Carolina.
So after that, you know what I'm saying, the only thing that's keeping me staying with the Bears is the mere fact that they got my guy from Kansas State, man. You know, Cody Whitehair. He's Cody's a Kansas State guy. But other than that, I gotta go with the Packers. The Packers go. I mean, even Aaron Love.
You did all that to go with the Packers?
I'm going with the Packers because all that mean. The reason I say that because he's got to be good for them to keep him around that long.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know when he came in last year against the Eagles and the way he was tossing it around,
He was good.
he has potential. Yes,
Yeah.
he has potential to be good. So
He wasn't Aaron Rodgers good.
no, but you know exactly. You know, so
fine.
I'm going with the Packers right now.
Hey, y'all stole my thunder a little bit. I love Jordan Love. Love him. I think Jordan Love, you know how all the besides Jalen Hurts, all the top 10 quarterbacks are in the AFC. I think Justin Fields and Jordan Love's in 3 years, 2-3 years, you'll be saying them. Like, you know how everybody's like, there's no other quarterback besides Justin Fields besides Jalen Hurts that has to compete. Jalen Hurts' competition to me will come from Jordan Love and Justin Fields. That's how much I think they are talented.
I don't think you're wrong.
Right? Like
Justin Fields scares me. I don't know enough about Jordan Love yet to say that, but Justin Fields, like if he essentially does what Jalen Hurts does and works on his arm and they put more weapons and options around him offensively, like the Bears are scary. They have the potential to be scary because once Justin Fields takes off like that, you can't stop him.
No, he's so fast.
He's so fast.
And it's crazy because he was a drop back quarterback at Ohio State.
Yeah. That's what makes me think he's going to be special. He was, you know, again, like you said, drop back quarterback. He was a pocket quarterback, and now he's running around. When he gets it all together, yeah. So I'm picking the Bears money line. Well, not money line because it's only -1. So I'm gonna go Bears to win this game. I'm gonna go Justin Fields a rushing touchdown. Why not?
Like
and DJ Moore a receiving touchdown. But I think this is gonna be a great tight game and two emerging teams that may be bad this year, 6-win teams this year, but the years beyond that, I think they're gonna be good. New England Patriots. Philadelphia Eagles. See, it's a little more of a breakdown because we're here. The Eagles -4 to win in this game. Over under 45. Money line is Philly 190. New England plus 155. Barrett, let's start with you. What are you thinking about this game?
That is not going to be as close as people are giving him credit for. You know, everybody's talking Bill Belichick this, Bill Belichick that. I understand you were the GOAT. You were the GOAT back in the day. Back in the day when you had horses. You know, you had Willie McGinnis on the defensive side of the ball. You had straight players that you could lean on the defensive side of the ball. I'm not even talking about Tom Terrific. But now that you have to coach these younger guys that don't know about yesteryear, you don't have a Teddy Bruschi like you used to have. You don't have a Ty Law like you used to have. They're winning championships and they're winning Super Bowls because they had the defense that would back up a Tom Brady. And then Tom Brady leaves. They say, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Who was the better? Who won those Super Bowls? Was it Tom Terrific or Belichick? I got to go with Tom because Tom went out there and won him a Super Bowl. So at this point, his kryptonite is he's got to coach these younger guys. Now, I get it. You know, they're saying that he went to the playoffs one year. Nah, I'm not trying to hear it. I'm not. The whole majestic feeling that you had is gone from me for Bill Belichick. In fact, I didn't like him no way. He cheated me out in the Super Bowl. All that Spygate stuff started in the game, the AFC Championship game when I was playing the year before. We went 15-1. We smashed them. We slaughtered them earlier in the season. But then the next time we play them is in the AFC Championship game. Number one, I'm on the field, and as I'm on the field, they are saying to play before the quarterback even told us to play. So they cheated us. Yeah, Spygate started in that game, bro. Ooh. They cheated us. They cheated us well. Yeah, and I'm still mad about it.
I never heard that before.
But long story long, this is going to be an absolute shellacking. I don't care if Tom Brady's coming back and they're honoring him or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. He's going to watch his squad get beat up in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying?
So you knew early and often that something's wrong here.
Oh, no question.
Why are they know too much?
Bruh, we're coming in. The quarterback's coming in. Ben's coming in. He said, "All right, we've got jab 32 on 3. Draw. Like, wait. How did he know jab 32 is a draw? Hold on. Who told him that we run a jab 32? How is this happening? Because they're graded, and I'm just mad. I'm not mad at Belichick and all. I'm not mad at them.
You should be.
No,
if that's the case.
I'm mad at our coaches for not cheating as well as they did.
Oh,
our coaches should have cheated better than they did. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
what I'm saying?
If you ain't cheating, you trying.
Yeah.
So
right,
everybody cheating a little bit. So.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what
but
I'm saying?
Belichick can't even be considered the GOAT, whether he used to be or still is, if he cheated. Like, he didn't earn it.
Well, they didn't take them rings back, and every time I turn around, he's like this. He's like this.
Oof.
Yeah.
I don't know if you follow that, Dev.
I mean, I know that's a tough act to follow. I agree with Barrett, though. I think the Eagles are going to win. I don't know if it's going to be a shellacking. I feel like that's the word of the show because we've used that for several games.
Yeah. That's B over there.
But that's also because, I cover the Eagles and I'm superstitious and I don't want to get too overconfident here.
You got to stop with this.
I know.
You can say it.
Know. I think the Eagles are going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to be by double digits. I think that they can cover the spread.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's going to be like by more than one score. I think defensively these two teams are pretty even. Well, no. I think the Patriots defense matches up with the Eagles offense. Well, the Eagles have the edge when it comes to their defense versus the Pats offense because their offense is just kind of a mess right now. If they're going to make any headway on this Eagles defense, it's going to be in the run game. So if the Eagles can contain, Ramondre Stevenson and Ezekiel Elliott, who I was about to call them the Cowboys, who the Patriots have now, then yeah, it could be a shellacking. But I have the Eagles winning regardless. And I also like an AJ Brown anytime touchdown because Juju Smith-Schuster is on the Patriots now. And you know that Nick Sirianni likes to get cute, and AJ and Juju kind of had that back and forth after the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I think he's going to want to.
What's the over-under on Bradbury smacking Juju. Yeah. That's what I want to know.
Hey, there's gonna be some of that. There's gonna be some.
Right.
If there's a pile that's had,
Yeah,
something dirty is gonna happen
for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I have the Eagles winning. Obviously, I have them covering. I think it's gonna be closer game just because I think it's gonna be a little messy. Mm-hmm. Week 1.
That's the thing.
Week 1 messiness, along with 2 new coordinators, Bill Belichick having a whole year to prepare. So the first half is going to be annoyingly close. You know, the Eagles had a bunch of those games last year. The first half, you're like, come on, dog, what we doing? Why, you playing with your food right now?
Well, first quarter, and then the second quarter, the Eagles would decide to go off and score all their points.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be one of those things, and then Eagles like, all right, that's enough.
Yeah.
And they win by 7 or even 12,
10?
13, or 10.
See, 12, 13, that's getting a little too high for me.
I only say that because I think it's gonna be close, and then at the end they go.
But it's all right. See, we're so used to being Philadelphia fans that we're not used to having nice things. Mm-hmm. So because of that, we don't. We've always looked at we're blue collar workers, and if something's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong.
Uh-huh.
We can't think like this. We have a squad. There's nothing wrong with being and acknowledging that we have greatness in that locker room.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's my whole thing.
Fair. And by the way, I did a thing on New England radio hosts. They had me call in, and they have no faith.
None whatsoever.
So they don't have any faith. I don't know why.
Wait,
they
really?
have no.
None.
WEEI. They
That
were like,
makes
all
me
right, call
so
in.
happy.
They're like, yo, we ain't good. Like
I did the same thing with our affiliates up in New England.
Yeah.
For NBC, I did the same thing, and I did
Really?
they said, well, there's just be honest with it. There's no way, and I said, you're right. There's no way.
No way. So let's move on. Again, we all on the same board. Chargers game. This is gonna be a fun game. Chargers Dolphins. A lot of scoring could be had.
Yes.
Chargers -3. Over under 51. The Chargers -160 money line. Miami +135. Barrett, what do you like in this game?
You know what? I do like the Chargers. I think they got a little bit of a mess down in Miami. They're trying to figure out who they are and how good they are. Mm. And I really think that when you look at the Chargers, Coach Staley is fighting for his job, so he's got to come out and be ready to play. Mike Williams has to go out there and be the receiver they drafted him to be. Keenan Allen is healthy right now. I was looking at Quentin Johnson. I mean, he is a monster. It's like 6'4", receiver, speed, could do whatever you need him to do out there running, intermediate routes, deep routes. They got the full gambit of what you need at the wide receiver position. And there's no way that, Herbert shouldn't just have the game of his life, because he's got his money. Now it's just time to go out there and perform. So, I mean, defensively, I think they're starting to get a little long on the tooth, but I really like I like the Chargers to go out there and make it happen.
Okay. What you think?
I think I like the Chargers winning. I really like the over 51 points in this one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be like, beep, beep, beep. Jonathan Gannon, in that video when he went to the Cardinals.
What is that?
I don't even know. But yeah, no, I think it's going to be a shootout between these two teams. I think the Chargers, like Barrett mentioned, just have it more together. I think Justin Herbert is a more complete quarterback. I feel like he's also still in a way underrated. People tend to overlook him when they're talking about some of the great quarterbacks. I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes, but I do think that he has the edge, and he gives the Chargers the edge in this one. So Chargers to win, but definitely pound the over 50 points.
Yeah.
Their offensive line is back also. Last year, their starting tackles were gone and one of the guards were gone. They got both their tackles back. Offensive line healthy. They'll be played better, but just because of that.
Yeah. Again, I'm going over 51 also. That's easy money to me.
No question.
I like the Chargers. Again, Jalen Ramsey out. So that Dolphins defense is going to have a little bit of struggle trying to cover guys. Mm-hmm. Justin Herbert's my sleeper to win MVP.
What?
He's my sleeper. I
like that, actually.
I think Patrick Mahomes has the Michael Jordan effect. Mm-hmm. People are sick of it. It's almost like, you're always the best player, but
right.
you have to do extraordinary things to get the award. I think Justin Herbert is going to give up ridiculous numbers. Yep. I think he's going to be one of those guys who kind of come out of nowhere, although it's not coming out of nowhere, but he ain't Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes. So it's going to be the sexy pick, and he's going to have, 40 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 5,000 yards. So I think he's a sleeper. So I think he starts his campaign beating the Dolphins. Let's get to one last game.
The Chargers don't even make it to the playoffs. No.
I got the Chargers at about 12 wins. It's low key. Last game we'll cover is the Cowboys and the Giants.
Gonna be a great game.
Dallas Cowboys -3 over under 45.5. Dallas -175. Giants +145 when it comes to the money line. Dev, we got 2 minutes. Let's start with you.
I think that the Giants were much improved last season. I think that they will continue to improve. Just offensively, though, I don't think much of Dak Prescott on the Cowboys, but compared to Daniel Jones, I do think the Cowboys have the edge. They just have more talent, so it's hard to bet against the Cowboys in this one. I think they win.
I got you. What you thinking, B. Brooks?
I just think this is going to be a close game, because, both teams are they improved. Both teams improved. Giants went on and got Waller, which is going to help Jones be a better quarterback because now he has that tight end he can throw to, and a tight end is always a quarterback's best friend. Dallas, I don't think they have enough faith in their starting quarterback. I think Dak at this point, lost the leadership qualities they have, but defensively they got so much better than they did. Smith, the guy in the middle they got from Michigan, I think he's the guy that's going to stop the run. So it's really going to.
You got the Giants?
I'm going with the Giants, yeah.
Okay,
I like
going
it.
with the Giants. All right, I'm going with the Cowboys.
I would prefer the Giants to win.
Yeah, I love Saquon being a Penn State dude, but I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys. I think they're going to get up to 11, 12 wins and compete with the Eagles. So I think they start with it there. And the Giants, you should have paid Saquon. I'm still mad at y'all. Yeah. So I want y'all to lose this game. Listen,